All right, we are going to get started. So so excited to be with you guys this morning. This call is for business coaches. So that means if you have coaches on your team. All right. So if you have coaches on your team, then you are in the right place. If you do not, please leave. All right. We don't want to overwhelm you. All right. So guys, I have been honestly working on this on and off for probably the past 4 months. And just because I don't have a lot of time, right? So it's like I dabble in it here, dabble in it there, try to do this, try to do that. But what really kind of lit a fire under me was that Brad did this 30-day launch group, right, for the new coaches. And I'm like, this is not only important for the new coaches to know what to do, but as business coaches, you need to know what to do, right? You need to know how to lead your coaches. So that's what really kind of lit a little fire under me, that I'm like, I really want to get this out. This is important. I think in our organization, we have like over 35 coaches this month that got started. So what that does for me, amazing. Yes, Kyla, yes. So amazing. We have more people to spread this mission, but also as a leader, it makes me feel like, okay, we got a lot of training to do. We got a lot of people to train and make sure that they know what to do. And you guys are the leaders to do it, okay? So do you guys want some organizational tools? Would that be helpful to you to help you walk through the process of knowing how to train your coaches? Okay, so I always like, how we always say like the why before the how. So I'm going to talk about the why and the importance of really getting organized, you guys, as we are raising coaches, because we want to bring coaches on, right? We want to expand this mission. But when we sign a bunch of coaches on and then we don't know what to do with them, then that causes a lot of frustration, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then they get started and they don't get off to a running start. And we want everyone to just fall in love with coaching, all right? So what we would like to do is help all of you guys become senior coach making machines. And if you really think about that, the structure, right? The machines, the way machines work, they're almost a little bit robotic, right? Like they run themselves. They are just effortless. They work, okay? So that's what we want to do as well. When we're bringing on a coach, we're not just bringing on a coach and saying, check, I brought on 3 coaches this month, right? That's not the victory. Sometimes people stop at that victory and they're like, yay, I brought on all these coaches. That's not the victory, okay? The victory is helping them to succeed, all right? We want to be so stellar in our systems that we know how to lead them and we know how to guide them and we know how to awaken them to their next steps, okay? That's the why, because if you guys can imagine, I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I just want you to think about, yes, it's being recorded. Suzanne's always great for that question. Okay, close your eyes for a second. And I want you guys to think about, you brought on, let's say 20 people. And those 20 people, their stories started inspiring. Each one of those people inspired another 20 people. And then each of those 20 people's stories inspired another 20 people. Can you imagine the duplication process? Do you see how this is going to start multiplying? You guys are all a result of that, okay? I did not bring on over 8,000 people. Thank God. Could you imagine? I did not. But guess what? All of you guys did, right? We did this together. But it all started with one, and you guys are that one. So you want to visualize, how could I possibly help that many people? I don't help that many people, but I raise leaders that help that many people. So this is a game of raising leaders, okay? And I like to think of this as a game board. I see things in pictures, in analogies. That's how I visualize things. Let's pretend we're playing a game of Monopoly. We got a Monopoly board and we've got each of you, what are those little things called, pawns or whatever, like they're all the different colors, right? We've all got different colors. And what we're gonna do is we're clients, right? So we're not even on the game board yet. So then we pick up this color blue, purchase the coach kit. They went on their first block. Okay, the next step is going to be, we're walking them through the step of the game board, right? The game, let's do the game of life instead of the game of Monopoly. The game of life. We are literally on our game of life. Now, there's going to be skill sets that we want to learn. And when we learn that skill set of how do we awaken clients? How do we help them overcoming objections? How do we teach them how to do all of these things? There's so many skill sets that make a very skilled coach. So we're just taking them off, we're picking them up and putting them on the next square, picking them up and putting them on the next square. So there's no reason to get emotional about things. I see a lot of coaches like, I brought on all these coaches and nobody's doing anything and I don't know what to do with them and I don't know. That's emotion. We get stuck and caught up in emotion. But if we think of a game board and we just say, well, what's their next step? We pick it up. We teach them the skill set and they get graduated onto the next block, right? And if you think about a winding road on that game board, the game board's not just like one straight shot, right? It's a winding road on the game board. So it's going to be a little messy sometimes. And you know how sometimes you pick that card and it's like, go back 3 spaces and you're like, no, I don't want to go back 3 spaces. Sometimes that happens in our business, correct? Anybody been there? Okay, so what happens though, right, when we go back 3 spaces? Does it mean we're out of the game? Absolutely not. It just means we're going to go over a couple more skill sets again to relearn those a little bit stronger. Okay, is that helpful to you guys? Like, does that help you to see and feel that if we can do this in more of a structural manner, that we're not getting caught up in the emotion of like, no, I had to go back 3 spaces. No. We're looking at it like, wow, I'm still in the game. I just need to learn these next skill sets again. That's all it is, you guys. That is what's going to make you guys a very successful coach, okay? So sometimes when we need to go back, there's been coaches in my organization that are no longer here anymore because they didn't want to go back. But guess what? Guess who is here still, right? April, Shireen, Janet, right? They've been with me almost from the start. And do you guys think that they have some pretty good, amazing businesses because they've hung out? And do you know about those people that gave up? Do they still have strong businesses? Nope. Okay, stay in the game. That's number 1. This is not about allowing the emotional roller coaster to get the best of you, because if you allow the emotional roller coaster of life to get the best of you, you will not be in the game any longer. And then you can still come back into the game later, but you're going to be starting again. And you can't even imagine what you would still have in front of you. Those people that still are, that are not coaching, they don't have their businesses anymore. But because April and Shireen and Janet, they still show up, they overcome the obstacles. And for some of them, they've had to go back a little bit and have to come back forward again. But man, oh man, did they come back faster. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna jump in. I'd like to give that visual because honestly, it's very easy. Most of us, like as we've been learning about the drama triangle, right? Like that's our natural go-to space. That's where we tend to live. That's our comfort land. But we're learning through Optavia how to get out of the drama triangle and into the empowerment triangle. And that's the beginning. That's the why. And now we're going to talk about the how. All right. So let me share my screen. I'm excited to show this to you guys. So I've had many versions of this, and my precious daughter, Alex, has been working with this with me the last couple of days to clean it up. So it's clean on the eyes, easy to look at, and very clear. I'm going to spend time on this today, you guys, for the reason, and I will send everyone the link if you don't already have it. I sent it to some of you guys last night. So what this is going to do, I'm going to spend time going through the steps, and I want you to think about every little step as one little block on your game board. Okay, so we're going to look at this one step at a time. It may seem like I'm going at a slower pace, but I need to train the masses right now. Some of you are faster, some of you are slower, but this is what another lesson that you guys are going to learn is that not everybody that comes into your organization are going to get things as quickly as you. So it's always going to be a practice of patience to think about, okay, how can I slow down my pace to match them? So this is going to be recorded. If you are watching the recording of this document may look a little bit different by the time you're watching it because things change all the time. So just know that this is going to be the base. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be a document that you can print. Okay, so you can actually have a working checklist, and also it has active links on it. So I'm going to walk you through the process of what it's going to look like. But yes, you will be able to just hit, file, print. It's 4 pages. It's going to look a little something like this when it's printed, right? There's going to be front, back, okay? And so let's dive in. Put your new coach's name. So for each brand new coach that you have, I recommend printing one of these off. And put their name, put the date that they purchased their kit, and then the CAB bonus deadline. As we know, that's 30 days from the day that they got their kit. So guess what? No more needing to get messages like, how many more days does this person have? You're setting yourself up in structure immediately. It's all right there for you. It's crystal clear, and nobody needs to miss a CAB deadline, okay? Action steps for the new coach. Now, I want to explain something really quick too, because some of you don't understand the way some of you have seen the Welcome to Health Coaching document that I've made, right? So I want you guys to think of that as, when you open up a book, how there's a table of contents, okay? The Welcome to Health Coaching guide, the very first page of that is like a table of contents, okay? And then there's a link at the top of it. And it takes you to different pages in that book. Because some of you are like, I don't understand why this page says I'm confused. There's so many documents. It all leads back to the Welcome to Health Coaching Guide. This particular document I'm showing you, they all intermingle together. Okay, so the links are going to take you to the same places. All right, so let me jump in again. Okay, so add them to the Facebook support link. Okay, so this is going to click. Okay, add your new coach to these Facebook groups. Agents of Transformation, Transformation Stories to Share, Healthy Together, they should already be on, Dufresne Health Coaches, and then Team Training Live Feed. So let's just click on one for instance. This is going to take you guys to the direct link on Facebook. Okay. So you go there, and then what I do is I just invite members. I go straight here, and then I will type in the member's name to add them to the new coaching thing, okay? So you just, boom, add them in. Then I'm gonna go back. Then the Welcome to Dufresne Health Coach Support Group. So you're gonna welcome them, right? You're gonna add them and you're gonna welcome them. Let me actually put add and welcome. This link is going to take you to that page. So there's no like, where's this? Where's that? That's the whole goal of what this document's going to do. And guess what? Once you do it, check, done. Okay? Send the starting point video to the new coach. Here is a link that's going to take you straight to the video. Okay? And I might update which videos are going to be here, but then all you do here, guys, if you can see the top of the screen, I just click on this box. Okay, there's the link. Copy it and paste it into an email or text or whatever you're going to do for them. So we're not giving them this document. This document is for your eyes and your eyes only. Okay, we are doing just-in-time training. Okay, so this is not to overwhelm a new coach. This is, hey, here's a quick video, 20 minutes, while we are, just be sure to watch it. It's going to show you how to expect, like, what's coming your way. We're so excited for you. This is all they've had so far. Let them watch a quick little video, all right? You're going to also schedule the meet and greet, okay? This is a document that is going to be the flow of the meet and greet. Now, this is something that you're going to be doing. This is a welcome to the team. Sometimes people have just done a health coach explore call, and then they're like, well, why do we just met them? I don't understand. Why do we need to do that? This is a welcome to the team. Okay. Now, a lot of these things, I know that I do a really stellar like coach explore where I'm going through the names. We already got to know each other. We have a permission, all of that stuff. So a lot of this stuff has already been covered. So we're going to use common sense in that. We're not going to like redo the exact same conversation. I like for the meet and greet to be pretty quick, you guys, like maybe 15, 20 minutes. If I've already done these steps with them, then I just go straight to welcome to the team. I'm so excited for you. Let's get a picture together. Let's get your story together and let's get that launched. Okay. What we're going to do is walk you through the process. And then I talk a little bit about like what the Facebook launch is going to be like, what to expect and all of that. So this meet and greet is an outline, but we may have already covered a lot of those things in the Coach Explore. Okay. It's always important to do these with your support team. Very, very, very important. And the meet and greet should be with 1 to 2 layers of support within 24 hours of the coach signing on. As soon as you do that, check it off your list. Okay. Now the social media launch. Okay. There's a document here for a Facebook pre-launch tips. It's going to take you straight to the document. Okay. This is how to make your Facebook page public. Everything goes through this. So this is something you will share with your coaches. Okay, clean up your Facebook page, positive posts, no sharing posts. This is walking them through every little thing that we need to keep in our mind normally and teach them. And you could just walk them through this so they're not overwhelmed and you're not overwhelmed. Okay, the next one is the Facebook launch guide. Okay, quick start for new coaches who are wanting to utilize Facebook as a reach out. This is walking you through step 1. And it's walking through everything. There's disclaimers, there's how to do the pictures, some examples, how to babysit the post and respond to people. Okay, how to respond. There's some verbiage. Is this amazing, guys? Okay.
So again, Lori, do we just share that, copy and paste that link and send that link on something like this to our new coach?
Yes, we'll send them the link, but only one step at a time. So what's really important, we're not going to take all 20 of these social media links and send it to them. This is all in order. Like, hey guys, let's go over this. Okay, we're going to go over this. I'm going to teach this to you as we're doing our social media launch. Let's go through this so you're really crystal clear. You may want to print it just so you have it in front of you, right? Like things like that. And then after that, then we're going to help them. So then you help them write their story. Then here's the disclaimer link. These are, what I want is like everything is one spot that you guys need. And as soon as you do these things with them, check, 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 check. And as you guys are working in this document, like I've had a couple of the leaders kind of look over some things with me, but as things are, if they're not making sense to you, like please reach out and let me know and say, hey, can we do this? Can we add a little tweak here? Can you add a line here? Because the feedback is going to be really important. So explain how to respond on Facebook post. Here's a link, a document there. Here's a video, moving conversations to the phone with Becca. Okay, taking private messages to the phone. Here's a link with verbiage. So everything that you guys need is right in one spot. Now we're going to move on to the health assessment training calls. I have them print 5 to 10 health assessments to just have them ready to go so we can dive in and they're in front of them. It's always really important to have those health assessments in front of them while you are leading the call. I encourage everybody, like sometimes they're like, oh, I can only do it while I'm driving. I would encourage you to make sure you do that call while they can be fully present because this is a training call and this is a business. Okay, it shows a lot more professionalism. We don't want them clanking dishes in the kitchen while, things like that. Like you can hear everything on the phone. These are things we want to posture to them and let them know that make sure you're muting yourself, make sure, things like that. Those are just common sense things that sometimes people don't get, but it's like, it just totally sounds very unprofessional and we seem scattered. These people are making a decision. Like, can I trust this person to coach me? Like, am I professional enough? Do I care about you enough? Because if they don't feel that, they may not choose to go with you, you know? So, and then print one health assessment. I like this one as well, to just have one with the guidelines in front of them so they could have that. They will get this in their coach kit, but at least if you get a head start to have one printed, it's important. Helps them to just feel like, okay, these are all the different options. Okay, I also added a note here. So say on day 7 or 8, I'm going to be bringing my coach in to check systems and make sure you're getting the maximum benefits of the program. Really important to say that on the call while you're saying, lining it out, because then they are expecting that integration call. Okay.
Lori,
Yeah.
when do you actually, in the process of that, you know, getting a new client, a new coach started, when do you actually say that?
Well, I will say like the expectations on the health assessment, and then I also say it again on the journey kickoff. So when I'm saying like what to expect, what my role will be, I'm going to guide you along the way. As soon as you get your kit, I'm going to get you set up for success. That call probably take about 15 minutes. And then on day 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to, we're going to do a quick 5-minute check-in, okay, to make sure we get your body into a strong fat burn. And on day 7 or 8, I'll be bringing my coach in so we could check systems and make sure that you're getting the maximum benefits of the program. We're going to get you started with the most restrictive, which is the 5-in-1. It's going to get you the most amazing results. However, you know, we may need to switch it up a little bit for you. And that's why we always like to have a second set of eyes. We do team coaching, and she'll be coming in, he or she'll be coming in on your 1 week. Okay, so we set that up, and I also say that again on the journey kickoff. There's no kickback on that, guys. This is our protocol. This is what we do. Okay, there's no kickback on that. Now, with that said, for a new coach, I'm going to be doing like probably the first 5 or 7 of each of their clients. Now, because why? It's training. It's training. Later, once a coach is like at the senior coach level, it's going to be picking and choosing which integration calls we're going to be doing. We're doing that for high, strong coach candidates, okay? So client support. Starting your clients out strong. There's a link here. Send a video how to order the Essential Optimal Kit. There's the link for how to order. You guys can do this how you like. I like to, you know, when I have a new coach, I like to hop in my Zoom room and I do the first order for them on Zoom. They're very overwhelmed at first, guys. Okay. So I want to show them, I'm going to let them say, you know what, I'm doing this with you. We're doing it together. I want to show them how simple. The last thing I want to do is they're like scattered doing all these things. Watch this video. That's just what I do. You do what you want to do. But I say the first client order, I'm going to help you process and show you step by step. And then the second order, I'm going to send you a video, and you're going to be able to have that video and you can watch it before you place it just to refresh your memory. It's going to be super easy, but we'll do it together. Let's hop in my Zoom room real quick. I personally add the purposeful hydration to all of my kits, okay? And the reason I do that, first of all, is it sets them up for success. I don't need them to have to go get Powerade Zero. Like, let's get them some good quality antioxidants and electrolytes in their house. So I also want to make sure that the new coach knows where to get that, because normally when you get the optimal kit and it says plus habits of health, right? And then right there on that screen, it says purposeful hydration. That's not where I get it. Where I add that to my cart, I do the habits of health, I do the optimal kit plus the habits of health. And then I hit checkout. And then, you know, at the checkout where it says it unlocks savings at the top, there's a bunch of like the cheesy things. And then there's like all kinds of things. That's where I get the purposeful hydration. There's a 3-pack and a 2-pack, and there's a significant reduction in price on that there. So that's where I get that. And that's a little confusing to show to a brand new coach. And I don't believe it's in that video. So that's why I like to really show that to them from the beginning. And if we layer that and show them how to do that from the beginning, they're going to start all of their clients on with purposeful hydration. Okay. The new client tracker, there's lots of different versions of this, you guys. There you go. There's lots of different versions on this, and this is just like the simpler one. So there's that. and people can print that off. This is going to help them with a checklist to stay super, super organized. Please make sure they are using this or a version of this. There's another one that's like filled with a ton of colors, but when you print it, it's hard to read, and it just kind of was like created anxiousness in me. I'm like, there's just too much going on here. But this one's super clean and to the point, and they just put their client name, and this walks them through the steps of getting your clients in their first week. Okay. Where am I? Then set up, okay, so set up support thread with a coach and new client for the first 5 clients. So I do this, you guys, for my coach's first 5 clients, like, and I let them know that from the beginning. I'm going to be in the support thread with you because this is a teachable moment. And the more time you spend with your new coach in the front end, you're laying a very stable foundation, guys. Okay? We don't want to just slap things in there and be sporadic and just like, oh, here, ding, 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 ding. That will drive people batty, right? Like, so the more that they feel secure, this is simple, this is organized, I'm supporting you in this, you're helping to answer questions for them, you're side texting them, telling them where to find their answers so they could put that in the support thread. There's going to be a little bit of work getting your new coaches up. But guess what? Could you even imagine if you put in that front end time investment into coaching them well? Could you imagine what they're going to do once they're trained? They're going to feel secure. They're going to feel confident. They're going to feel supported. They're going to know that they can do this. And then they're going to fly. But could you imagine if you leave them to their own devices? What's going to happen, guys? And I see this time and time and time again. If you leave them to their own devices, the confused mind does nothing. All right? So this is why this is very important, and this is why I've seen a very big need for doing something like this in structure, so that way you all know as business coaches that all I need to do is walk through the steps. I'm just walking them through the game board, right? And each checklist is the next piece of the game board. And then we move on to the next. And then your mind is not feeling like a tornado, like I've missed everything, I don't know where to go. And the cool thing about this, guys, is you can push do-over with every single one of your coaches right now. If any of you guys are feeling like, oh man, I missed so much, please don't. Let's not go below the line on this, right? Let's not get into the drama triangle. We're going to go into the empowerment triangle and say, okay, my responsible reaction to this document right now is I have a fresh new start. Okay, so let's look at it like that. All right, teach them to add, and I'm not even seeing the chat, you guys, so I'm sorry, I'll get to those afterwards. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Send them the new daily text messages, and then do it for them for their first client, and then there's a link right there. Okay, and that's going to take them to that. Teach them to add new client to Facebook Healthy Together group and add a welcome image from Google Images and welcome message and tag the new client on the Facebook post. Okay, teach them to send a welcome email. Now, sometimes Optavia sends these, sometimes they don't. I just always send it. I don't want to take a chance that they're not going to get it. So I send them. So this is going to take you to the welcome email. And all I do, guys, is I just take this and I copy it and put that into the body of an email and send that to them. Okay, so done. And send organizing your binder video link. You don't have to do this right away at all. But usually once they're around like senior coach, then I will probably take them to, I should probably move that. There. Okay. Now, senior coach celebration. there's a link here to the document of what you're going to be going over for the Senior Coach Celebration. You're going to add and welcome them to the Brash page. That's the Brad's page. We don't add them to too many pages at the beginning, but we do want them to be around like all of the amazing leaders that are in there so they can learn and grow from them. But we don't do that at the beginning, all right? Congratulate the new senior coach and do frame coach support as soon as they reach the rank. I'm going to do and Brash. Oh, well, I guess I did that right here. Add and welcome. Okay. Set up a senior coach celebration call with your business coach and lay out the steps to grow 1 to 2 points path to ED, or 1 to 2 points or the path to ED. And then that's when we introduce the map to them. And this is a printable map link. And then this is a video on how to use the map. Okay. Now there's more. Now this is going to be documents that you're going to be printing and filling out, okay? So this is going to walk you through the beginning. So this is going to be their name, and then you're going to help them with their top 5 pre-client list. Here's a name. Okay, who are the top 5 people you're most excited about helping? These are very important questions to walk them through, okay? How would this program help them? How would you feel if you could help them? Like if you could make this change in them and help them, how would that make you feel? Okay, now this is important because sometimes people get nervous, right? But what this does is it takes them out of their head and into their heart. This question is magic, okay? It helps them to figure you. By the time you go through like 5 of these, they're ready to get to work, okay? Because otherwise they're going to sit there in a little bit of fear. Now the next section here is the health assessment training calls. So client number 1, we always do the progression of 3 things here. We're going to do it for them, we're going to do it with them, and then we're going to watch them do it. Okay, so you're going to, and I put here, you know, you're going to use discernment on this, guys. Sometimes there's people that are like, get up and go. I got this. I got this. Sometimes people need a little bit more hand holding. So this is just a general 5 is usually what, there's some coaches that I need to do 7 or 8 for. And I'm totally fine doing that. If they're bringing me that many clients, we're doing them. I'm more than happy to. Okay. Cause I want to help people to their comfort level. Some people are like, I got it. I got it. I will encourage you and caution you on this. They don't got it. Okay, just because they're super successful in another area of their life does not mean they're super successful in Optavia. Okay, so I would encourage them. We're not going to be bosses, but we're going to give them an invitation to learn. You know, I would love to show you how we do it, how we awaken clients into really maximizing this health assessment. Do you mind if I show you how we can do this for a couple? Would you like me to teach you how? Okay. I personally, guys, I'm not going to bring a coach on unless they're going to allow me to work with them. Maybe the old me was a little bit desperate for coaches. And so I was like, oh yeah, you want a coach? Okay. That was the desperate Lori. But 7 years, I know better than that. And I know that if somebody is not coachable and teachable, I personally don't have time to bring someone like that on. I don't want to bring on the masses. I don't. What is that going to, are we getting paid to bring on health coaches? No, we're not. Do you guys see how the time investment of bringing on a coach strong? This is our time. So I'm selective with who I'm bringing on. I want to make sure, like, this is an apprenticeship model. Are you open to me teaching you how? Are you showing me? Those are things that are going to be very important to do on the front end, okay? So client number 1, you're going to write their name, and then you're going to put whatever the debrief notes are going to be here. I'll have to add debrief notes here. And then client number 2, training, do it for them. Client number 3, do it with them. Client number 4, do it with them. Client number 5, watch them do it. This is going to keep you organized, guys, okay? And I recommend filling out a health assessment as you're doing and leading the call. Fill out the health assessment. And then I put whatever coach's name is, I put their name at the top. So like clearly the client's name, right? And then also the coach's name. So if I'm doing a health assessment for, let's say, Rocio, I'm going to put Rocio at the top and I'm going to highlight Rocio. And I'm going to keep that health assessment in my binder with my clients. Do you know why? I'm in charge of making sure that we do those day 1, 2, 3, 4 calls. I'm in charge. So it's kind of like adding some more clients to my plate. She's going to be doing the majority of the work, but I'm still observing and making sure things are getting taken care of. Okay, so that keeps you organized and not forgotten. Okay, so there's some tips here. And then here is going to be journey kickoff calls for the first 5 clients. All right, note, be sure that the client watches the journey kickoff call first, before you talk. And if they haven't watched the video, I don't talk to them yet. Okay, so, and I check in with them right before. It's like, hey, you know, if let's say our time to talk was at 5 o'clock, I will text them at like 4:45 and say, hey, have you gotten a chance to watch the video? And if they say no, then I'll say, okay, can you watch that real quick first? And then we'll pop on the call. I don't need to reteach them everything. My only question I want to ask them when I get on that call is, awesome, what questions do you have after watching the video? Otherwise, you're going to be on the phone for 45 minutes to an hour explaining everything. Okay? Now, I have this on this list because I want to make sure that these new coaches know how to properly do a journey kickoff video. Because what I hear and what I see is that when they're getting on these calls, they're wanting to tell them everything. Okay? Oh my gosh, you're going to love this and the brownie. And then I'm going to send you these recipes and I'm going to give you this and I'm going to give you that. And I'm like, oh, stop. So that I have to make sure that those things are not missed because they're overloading their client and the client is like, I don't even know where to go. They're sending them lean and green recipes. And I know what this feels like because I did this to Shireen and I learned from that. So that was me. So if I could change, you can change, people.
Lori, I just have to share something. I was going through some paperwork and I found my binder, not my binder, but my folder of when I got started. And I was looking through it. This was back 7 years ago. And you had sent me recipes for all the different fuelings of how to hack them and everything. And I was looking at that and I go, oh, I should show you that I have that. It's amazing. I love it.
That was me, guilty as charged. I love it. Oh my goodness. That's how the saying goes, like you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Clearly, I screwed up, but she's still here. She was the right person. Okay, day 1 through 4 check-in calls. This is where you're going to just do a quick little check-in, right? You guys might get to client number 3 and feel like, you know what, they're good. They're good. I mean, you can do client 4 and 5 on your own. Like, just use discernment. This is a guideline for you guys, okay? And it may seem like, wow, this is a lot of work. This is why it's really important to say this is only going to take 5 minutes. We don't want to overload them. We don't want to douse them with too much information. 5-minute check-in. Did you get your water in? How many ounces of water did you drink today? How many hours in between fuelings? What was this first time you ate your fueling? What, you know, how long were you up at night? And then, like, was there 3-hour time gap between the time you went to bed to the, you know, those little questions, done. Awesome. Can't wait to celebrate you tomorrow for day 2. Okay. Couple little questions. So that's it. Quick, quick, quick. So could you do this? Absolutely. You got a checklist now. You're not going to be like, where was I? And if you have that client tracker and you're not tracker, that health assessment with you, you're moving that in your binder as well. So you're knowing exactly where. It's no different. It's not going to take you any more time. Okay, so this is important. Integration calls. So you're going to schedule this ideally on day 7 or 8. I've got to kind of move this around a little bit. It looks like the pages are off a bit. So, but again, this is where you're going to put the client's name and who you did the integration call and debrief notes. Okay. So now I'm going to stop share and open it up. I did not look at this chat. Anybody want to come off and ask a question, comment? What do you guys think of this?
First of all, Lori, I want to thank you so much for putting this together. This is absolutely brilliant. And I, for one, am so, so grateful for this. You've done an amazing job. So I just want to thank you for putting this together. It's amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys. Does it, I hope it, what I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed through this process. Does this help you to feel kind of just clear? Like just check. Is that was my hope and my prayer that this would do for you guys so that nothing is missed.
You know, Lori, I just want to say the same thing. I mean, it's fantastic. And I just want to re-emphasize what you said. So, you know, like anybody that has coaches that are like, maybe they're not brand new, but they're re-engaged. And so I would print one of these out for every single coach you have that falls into that category. Like Lori said, put their name at the top, and then it's a step by step. So don't feel like they've got to have all 4 pages done, because some people are going to have all 4 pages done in 2 weeks. Some people, it's going to be 2 months. Some people, it could take a year. So don't worry about it. It's just a record that you have, and it's step by step, and it is a living document. So Lori can make changes to it as she sees fit.
Perfect. And that brings me to another point too. So yeah, it is a live document. Okay, guys. So I have it as view only. So that way you guys can't go in there and make edits, because sometimes that happens where people don't mean to, but they accidentally make an edit. So it is a view only. So you can go in there and click and things like that. Now, if you wanted your own copy of this document or something, you could copy it onto your own computer, but I wouldn't really recommend that, because then when I make the changes and links on things, you won't get the revised copy of that. Does that make sense? So like whatever you copy over into another document is going to be the old links. It's not going to transfer over. So my recommendation is to just always act off of this specific one, so that you can be in the know with you know how they always come up with a new grader video and things like that. That's what I will just automatically be adding them to this document. And yes, one new coach might go through this entire thing in 3 days, and another coach might take 6 months to get to senior coach. We know this, correct? But what this is going to do for you is give you clarity as to where they are on the game board. That's it. You just need to say, okay, right on. You want to do more? And then you go back to your checklist and say, where did we leave off? Okay? So hopefully it's going to I just want clarity for all of you guys. I really do. And this is what is also going to help you guys duplicate yourself, because guess what? When you're bringing on a brand new coach, you're going to be able to introduce them to this as well, as they are bringing on their first clients. So you don't, the biggest thing is like, as I'm telling, like Garrett's coming home to work with me more now. I'm like, how do I take 7 years of what's in this brain and teach him? How do I so this is the same thing for you guys, no matter how long you've been coaching. How do I take everything that I've been learning for the past 6 months or for a year, however long you guys have been coaching? How do I take it all and teach this to a baby coach, right? We're going to all be on the same game board right now. And we're going to be able to utilize this document to say, guess what? I've got a checklist with you that's going to help it keep it super easy, super simple, super fun. So fun and easy, Mikey knows. I say it all the time, my friend, all the time. And so anyway, that is what's going to help us to be able to become not only senior coach making machines, but duplication machines. That's what we want. We want to duplicate ourselves. Too many things, you know, the telephone game where you whisper something in someone's ear and they whisper it into another and they whisper it into another. And by the time it goes around the room, it's a completely different message. That's what's been happening.
Lori, can I say also that there's been a couple of questions. So I know there's so much information out there, but Brad did put in the 30-day coach launch last night that new coaches should be on that 9 o'clock Patty Glick call. Anybody that is a senior coach and below should be on that call. So 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And anybody that is a senior coach and above should be on Dan Bell's call in 45 minutes. So just so you know and everything that Lori went over does not replace the 30-day launch Facebook group. That new coaches should still be in there.
Absolutely. That's for the new coach. It's for you. But the cool thing about this is I'm not creating anything new. This goes hand in hand with exactly what that group is. And that's why I wanted to get this off and running right now, because with Brad doing this and with all of you guys bringing all of this massive amount of coaches, I want to make sure you guys are set up for success. And it all goes hand in hand. They all integrate together. It's not like I'm teaching you something and he's teaching you something. It's the exact same thing. But you want them in that group. And as a business coach, as you are doing the steps in the group, that's how you're going to know how to teach this. Tell your new coaches, hey, let's be accountability buddies in this, right? Let's be accountability buddies. I've got my list. You got your list? Awesome. This is exciting. We're doing this whole 30-day group together. And that's really important.
You know, the other thing that's really important about you being in the group is if you weren't in that group listening to everything, you don't know about that bonus $25 that they get for a client. So I'm not going to tell you where it is either. You need to look at the videos and you need to find out, because you're not going to be able to answer that question if you don't watch the video.
Yeah.
Hey, Lori.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying, that some coaches are going to move faster than others. So, this document may take way longer to go through with some people. However, if we have somebody that is a runner, like they're ready to roll, for instance, one of Kyla's coaches just brought on a new coach, and he is ready. Like he's going through assessments. He's ready to do them himself, all within like 2 days. If you have someone like that, I'm asking the structure queen. Do you schedule a time with them daily, like 30 minutes? We're going to go over this today. Tomorrow we'll go over this, because it seems like it would be kind of overwhelming to the new coach, not if they want to move though. So is it better to do it all throughout a day from morning till night, depending on where they're at? Or is it better just to say, here's 30 minutes, let's go boom, 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 and then let's meet in the morning again? What do you suggest?
Very, very good question. You're going to give them just what they need, just when they need it. I would not schedule a 30-minute call to stop them from the process of moving.
Okay.
You give them right what they need, right when they need it. You're going to be helping to guide those first 5 clients for them. So whether they're a runner or they're not, they need you more if they're a runner. They need you way more if they're a runner. So all you're going to do is, okay, cool. Let's set up a thread with your coach or with your new client and me, right? So be in that thread, okay? And then you're going to say, I'm going to do the first daily text message for you just to show you how easy it is. Copy, paste, just tell them, put it on the phone. Then that's when you give it to them, right? Let's save this on your phone. Let me show you how easy it is. I'm going to pop in. I'm going to take that first message and I'm going to plop it in there. I want them to see that all I am doing is copying and pasting. I'm not writing a whole paragraph before, okay? And let the client know these are going to be, these messages are sent from our company, so they may not seem personal. However, it's going to give you and guide you through what to expect every single day on this journey, and you're going to love the structure that it's going to provide to you. And then, does that make sense, Carla?
Yeah.
Why does your name say Lori? Did you change your name?
No, I don't have any idea how that happened. That's what Kyla texted me on the side and was like, how are you Lori now? I'm like, I don't know. It's okay. Maybe I'll soak up some of you today. I hope so. It'll transmute into the brain.
I love it.
I have a feeling that when she was putting in the password, she put Lori where her name goes.
Oh, I bet you're right, Kyla. Only you could figure that out.
She's speaking from her future self. I love it.
I have one more little question that I'm just thinking through. When we do the integration call, usually that's, we'll use Kyla as example again. Kyla would only have me on. She does all of that stuff. And then I come on at 7 or 8 days for the integration. If I am helping a new coach and I'm on day 1 through 4, I'm doing all those calls with them. How do I set up that integration call. So it's not like, well, I'll be having my coach come on in 7 days. Do we just kind of leave all that language out and say, we'll check in now on day 7, and then I just do it and then explain to the new coach, like, this will look a little different.
Just a little. Instead of saying I'll be bringing my coach in, just say I'll be popping back in on day 7. That's it.
Okay.
Because they're going to be kind of talking in the thread throughout the week. That's when I kind of start backing away. Okay, I want them to fly. So I'm still in the thread, but I'm not speaking up in the thread so much anymore. And that's why when I'm like leading those calls, I'm letting them know that too. I'm like, you're going to see me a lot in your first week. And then you and so are going to be hanging out a little bit more. I'll be popping in occasionally here and there to check in on you. But I like to posture what my role is going to be from the beginning as well. Like, you're one of her first clients, so you get 2 coaches here, which is pretty fun. I'm going to be a part of your journey at the very beginning. We're going to check in the first 4 days. I'll pop back in on day 7, and then I'll be popping in here and there occasionally to check in and see how things are going. And like, that's it. So yeah, it will. The verbiage will be just a tad bit different.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a questions? Yeah. So I get it about, we're on the first 4 days and the integration call, but as far as the regular coaching weekly, are we doing that with their first client? And if so, how long?
Just again, use discernment on that. Everybody's going to be totally different. I mean, we want to kind of push the birdies out of the little nest, but you're going to, what I find with the first 5 clients of someone is that I've got such a great relationship with them. I want to be a part of it. So I kind of stay in the thread with some that I see as being very strong coach candidates. And then that's how I get to demonstrate how I'm dripping coaching throughout the process. So when I'm on those conversations, I'm like, you know what? Hey, Michelle, I think this would be a really good time for me to pop in and check in with your other Michelle. Let's jump in, right? So there's like those pieces where I love to be the eyes, because what are we needing to teach our coach? We want to teach them. It's not just about like coaching them on their journey. We want to teach them to awaken coaching. We want to teach them those skill sets. Okay. And, there may just be another document from senior coach to executive director coming soon, so that's where we do want to be able to walk with them and teach them and be those eyes. So every single call, no. There's going to be things to teach them along the way, right? Like overcoming obstacles, getting ready for a party, getting ready for a barbecue, getting ready for a trip, right? So when those things are happening, I look at that like, you know what, it might be beneficial for me to hop on and show them how to stay in structure during a vacation, how to stay in structure during things like that. Is that helpful, Tracy? There's a lot of gray area, darling. So that's the hard part of this, is that it's not going to be black or white. Okay, so you guys who are very like, it's got to look a certain way. This is the time for flexibility and understanding that we're dealing with human beings and nothing is ever going to be simple. So this allows you to practice patience in the process of working with people. It's never going to be black or white. This is a guideline, you guys, and a checklist to help you stay in check. Like, am I staying in structure and being able, because so many of you guys are like, well, what's the skill sets you're speaking of? And I don't understand the steps. That's why I wanted to do this, because all this is doing for me is brain dumping what's in my mind onto a piece of paper that's a checklist for you guys.
I've never even thought about that, Tracy, but that could be really cool to do the first week coaching call with them and use the guide to show the coach to know, because most new coaches, what I see is they're saying, well, how was your first week? How are you doing? That's what the coaching looks like, instead of, how is element 1, and asking the questions in that guidebook that might help them understand how much easier that makes it. And that's never crossed my mind.
The more you guys honestly invest in your coaches, honestly, like, you don't want to drive yourself crazy. Like, you don't want them there's a fine line, as you guys are bringing up coaches right now, that you don't want your personal business to take a hit, right? It's really important that structure is number one. And honestly, I think it's a lot more fun helping coaches, right? Like helping our coaches to grow. It's so rewarding and it's so fun and it's easy to get locked into that. But you really need to find like a balance of what you're doing for your personal business and honoring and respecting that time for your personal client support, for your personal clients. Very important, because that is the future of your business, correct? And if we coddle them and we love on them and help them and support them, they are your future. Now, if we get locked into just only supporting our coaches and their growth, then yeah, that's great. But then you're also missing out on your future. Like some of those are going to start dwindling away. They're not going to be integrated. They're not. So please honor and respect your time and your guidelines for your own personal business. And, you know, you're not going to be so like, when someone asks you for time, if that's your client support time, please just be very respectful, because your coaches that you're raising are depending on you, right? So there's a way to say it and a way not to say it. So please just take the extra minute to not just say, I can't, okay? Because I see that a lot, and that makes them feel not supported. But you can just say, you know what? I want to honor and support my client support time, and that's a block of window that I've set aside for my clients. Can I do that at this time instead? Or this is my availability. So please just take that extra, and I know we get super busy, and I'm very guilty of this, where I'm just like boom, 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 like answering questions. Cautiously take a couple minutes to just say, you know, I'm sorry, I can't do that time. I'm honoring my client support, because guess what? That's what's teaching them that they're going to need to do the same thing as well. Because you always honored your client support time, that they're going to be doing the same thing. They do everything you do. So we're at the top of the hour, and I know you guys are probably like, but anyway, I hope that this serves you guys. Literally, please let me know how it's working for you. Please, 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 please. I want you guys to look at this from a very above the line perspective, a very responsible perspective, and don't go below the line on anything like I've done everything wrong and I've got all these coaches that I didn't serve. That is not, this is a brand new day. So get excited about this opportunity. It's a brand new start. And there's also an invitation that you can give to all of your coaches and just say, guess what? I'm really excited. I just was on a training this morning that's going to be step by step and getting you up to senior coach if that's what you want. We also have a 30-day launch training that Brad Miller is hosting with all of the leaders. This is a huge opportunity. Huge. We've never done this ever, you guys. There's always been like once a week boot camps. We have never done anything like this that is step by step by step. So guess what? All we need to do is follow the steps and follow the checklist. That is the structure you guys have all been asking for. So here it is for you. You guys get to use it and be blessed by it and fall in love with coaching and fall in love with awakening your coaches into helping more people. And you're going to be super organized along the process of it. So anyway, let me know how you guys are enjoying the document. And I sent the link in here. If you do need it again, and for some reason can't find it, ask your global or your integrated national, and they'll get it for you. But I love you all. I hope this brings you much, much success.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Lori.
Thank you, Lori. This is amazing.
Thanks, Laura.
So happy, guys.
Thank you,
People, I didn't even see any of you guys yet.
Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. Love you guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye, everyone.